Welcome to this live broadcasted Q&A with medtech and simulation company Mentice for the first quarter of 2025. I'm happy to welcome CEO Frans Venker and CFO Ulrika Drotz to the studio. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
How do you do?
Doing well. That is it. Yeah, beautiful to be here in Stockholm, but also doing well presenting our first quarter results. Solid results that we presented today.
Absolutely. In this kind of challenging world we are in at the moment.
Things are changing rapidly also as we see it.
Yeah.
And things are not, always easier to adjust to, but you simply need to be nimble and agile in order to stay the course and make sure that we adjust accordingly.
Definitely so. You state in the CEO note that Mentice is moving toward further solidifying your unique position as a global leader in simulation solutions for image-guided interventional therapies, IGIT. Could you please try and describe what IGIT is?
Yeah, absolutely. So image-guided interventional therapies are effectively diagnostics and therapies to treat patients in a minimally invasive way. And that means that what in the past had to be done by open surgery or by really invasive way of treating patients, all of a sudden now can be done by a small incision in either the groin or also in the arm. And so that is a big benefit towards not only the patient, but also the care provider, insurance agencies, in order to do it in such a way. And so what you see is that, for example, valve implants that used to be done surgically, where you had to open the chest and to basically repair the heart, now can be done via the groin, basically insert a valve in a minimally invasive way. And that means that patients sometimes can leave the same day or the next day, that there is less impact on infections, there's less cost that is involved, as also for the staff and the care provider, it's the way to do it. And our solutions at Mentice, we are supporting that trend. And that trend is really growing already for many years, rapidly. And so we are supporting both with simulation equipment, but also with training equipment to enable those procedures in a more advanced and more effective way. Growth, what we see in certain areas, like electrophysiology, where it's all about rhythm disease from the heart. Yeah, you see growth rates of up to 20% per year in procedures being executed. Structural heart, same thing. So it's a really interesting area, all the way from top to toe, in the body, to treat patients in a minimally invasive way. And that is image-guided interventional therapy.
Great improvement for the patients as well as costs, I guess.
It is helping, first of all, the outcomes towards patients, so more effective outcomes. It is lowering cost, which of course is very important for the overall healthcare systems as a whole. But it's also more effective for patients, so more comfortable in that sense, as also for care providers. And then the fifth one is almost access to care also is a big impact as well, so that it's easier to get access towards the care that patients need. And so this is a trend that we see ongoing and will continue for many years to come.
Good. And if we move on to the numbers for the quarter, net sales amounted to 54.3 million Swedish kronor compared to 45.3 in the last year, the same quarter. This is an increase of 19.5%, whereof 17.3% is organic and 2.2% currency effect. Is this in line with your expectations?
Based on our financial targets with a growth of 20 to 30%, yes.
Thank you. Order intake amounted to 43.7 million Swedish kronor compared to 37.9 last year, an increase of 15.1%. How is this result compared to your goals?
So what we see is that we received significant growth from an order intake perspective in the medical device industry side. So effectively providing solutions for training as also adoption of our procedures for the medical device industry. We were pleased actually with the growth rates that we saw there. Where we need to do more is with the order intake growth when it comes to the hospital segment. And there Also, we made some adjustments also, and we're making adjustments towards the value proposition and the offering to making sure that we target on those offerings like training and solutions that can scale, so that it is easier for our sales organizations also to target large delivery networks for hospitals and be able to then equip also larger institutes towards our solutions. And that is what we're currently changing in order to make sure that we get similar growth area of levels what we see on the medical device industry also towards the hospital segment.
And if we move to the EBITDA, that amounted to minus 19.2 million SEK compared to 18.4 last year. There was a pretty negative response to your quarterly report this morning. What do you think this depends on?
If I look at, as Ulrika also indicated, our top line is in line with what we expected, especially also the challenging circumstances, what we see in the economical outlook. I think we had solid results in that regard. What we did from an EBITDA standpoint is that there were two factors impacting this. That is, first of all, we had some organizational changes, which comes to personnel, which impacted our bottom line, and it is the foreign exchange impact that we saw accordingly as well. So in a nutshell, I said we can explain why the EBITDA is in that direction. Simply our projections and also how we look for the remainder of the year, we're staying with our growth projections that we have indicated as part of our overall numbers, which is 20 to 30% growth and reaching towards a mid to longer term profitability of in the range of 20%.
Okay, thank you.
So that was probably the reaction on that, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Could be. And if we move on to geography then, you state that you're focusing on increasing sales in the Americas. You mentioned that. And what is Mentice doing in this regard?
So now we're focusing on all three geographies. They are all important for us, but indeed the Americas is one of the critical areas also for us from a size perspective. And but that doesn't mean that we're not focusing on EMEA as also on the APAC region. But America's a big focus on the medical device industry. There's of course a large number of device companies, which we do, and there we focus on making sure that we go not only deeper in a company, but also wider, as we call it, to see how we can replicate our offerings that we do within our companies, that we can also replicate some of that also in other departments. So basically grow there. The second piece is also, as I stated, also for hospital delivery networks, whether we can provide training solutions, but also that we could become part of the treatment solutions, what we call pre-procedure planning. And so we are very pleased to announce that we received approval for a solution what we call Ankyras, which is a planning software towards the neurovascular segment, and that we received approval for Brazil on this. And also our approval for the United States is imminent. So that means a big focus on the Americas, but I would like to state that it doesn't take away the growth aspirations that we have for APAC, because that's where there's tremendous growth, especially what we see outside of China. If we look at Indonesia, basically Southeast Asia, if we look at India, really the place to be. And then also, of course, EMEA, where we need to go country by country and area by area to capture the growth with medical devices, but also with the hospital segment. Maybe, Ulrika, did I miss anything?
No, I think you put that together quite nicely.
Good.
No.
Yes, you state in the note that you have some challenges within the EMEA region. Could you elaborate a bit on this? Are they permanent, or is it just a period of problems you can see there?
It is, they're not permanent, and so they're also not market related in that sense, or industry related. So we see growth, across the board, And it is simply on our account that we need to make sure that we put the right sales organization in place and the right service delivery structure also to make sure that we capture the growth country by country. And that's what we're currently doing now. We're implementing that, and that's the execution that is ongoing. So we will get those sales back basically on track.
Okay, thank you. And if we move on to your business areas, as you go forward from this publication of the report, you have decided to integrate the Strategic Alliances, SA, business area into the medical device industry. How come?
Would you like to take this?
Yeah, I think, I mean, the offering to the strategic alliances and to highlight, we have really good relationships to the partners within there. That goes closer together to the MDI offering, and therefore it made more sense for us to include it into the MDI business area. And obviously, if you're interested in figures, all the historical figures have obviously been adjusted, so we compare apples with apples over the quarters.
Perfect. Significant events in the quarter. It was first of all that you entered as the CEO. Welcome.
Thank you.
So this is actually your first true quarter as a CEO, so to say.
This is mine. This is, but the other one was mine as well, but it was inherited. But this one is truly, this is on our account. Correct.
Yeah. And the second one is that you announced a significant order from a top 20 global medtech company for 6.5 million Swedish crowns. How important was this order?
Now, yeah, what we saw is strong focus by the medical device industry in our solutions across the board. And we were very pleased to receive a big order from the medical device industry, and they really come from particularly 3 growth areas, what we currently see. That is electrophysiology, so everything has to do with rhythm disease within in the heart. So that's usually either related towards left atrial appendix closures, or it could also be pulse field ablations. Big focus for us, but also rhythm management, where it is pacemaker implants, etc. And we still see a lot of growth, strong growth in those areas. On top of that, what we see also is structural heart, where it's related towards valve implants, where it's not only mitral, but also tricuspid valve. So it's clinical areas where now new procedures are taking place. And those growth areas, we're a big part of it in order to provide compliance, we call it basically training, but also adoption support for the medical device industry to help them train with procedures. So we're very pleased to see the growth both in rhythm management and also structural heart, and these orders are very important for us going forward.
Okay, thank you. And that was my last question for you today, but do you have some final remarks on what you're looking forward to in 2025?
Now, yeah, it's 2025. What we're looking forward to is stability from an economical climate perspective, because it's quite wild at the moment. If it comes towards potential tariffs that are being implemented, as also if it comes towards fluctuations in the foreign exchange, specifically towards the Swedish krona. And so, of course, both things do not help us in that regard. So we are looking for ways also to adjust to those. First of all, if it comes towards foreign exchange, that is cost base, is also looking see whether we can change our operational expenses to a certain extent and bring it in line towards the income coming in. But also, if it comes towards potential tariffs, that we do more in the United States and see whether we can already adjust a little bit more towards manufacturing in that regard. And luckily, we are fortunate with a globally dispersed supply chain, so we have the ability to adjust otherwise. But yeah, so stability is what I would hope for in 2025.
Okay. By that, I want first to thank the audience for joining us today, and thank you, Frans and Ulrika, for joining me.
Thank you, Matthias. Thank you.